Okay, guys, the dialogue here. Welcome to Body Language reading of Robert Wagner. This is his ex-wife, Natalie Wood. Very famous actress. In fact, they both were in their time, and especially Natalie Wood. She had a larger start. Now, she ended up drowning off a yacht, which they were both occupying, plus a captain of the yacht and another actor called Christopher Walken. People are saying that Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood had also had an affair, and maybe they had an argument, and somehow Robert Wagner pushed Natalie Wood off the yacht and she ended up drowning. Now, I think this case has been opened a couple of times. Now, Robert Wagner has not been, as far as I'm aware, charged or convicted of any murder, so he is innocent until proven guilty. However, I will be reading his body language. And this was in 1981 when she died. She was 43 at the time. And this is the weird thing. This is the yacht, by the way, that she actually was on. They were all on. Apparently, it was around about midnight. She'd had a fight with Robert Wagner, and she decided to get into a coat and socks and her nightgown and get on a little dinghy and then just row away from the yacht in the middle of the sea in the middle of the night. She didn't have anything with her, any light, so she didn't know where she was going. And she was terrified of water. It doesn't quite make sense. So let's have a look at Robert Wagner as an older man, just recently with Larry King.
Yes.
You married Natalie Wood twice.
I did.
But why did we do that?
I don't know, but isn't it great?
It is, when you look back. I have to ask, so I'll let it pass, but I must.
So he's genuinely pleased that he did marry Natalie Wood, and she was very beautiful and a very good actress. She was a very, very good actress. She was a better actor than Robert Wagner, and had, as I said before, a larger star.
Just ask you. They reopened the Natalie Wood thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever comment on that?
No, I never did.
No, I never did. And we have an interesting little body language micro expression going on. No, I never did. And he's a little bit flippant. I'm going to slow this down and have a look again.
Never did.
You
Okay,
wouldn't
right there.
cooperate with the...
I feel like we've got a little tiny bit of happiness, a little bit of glee going on. No, I never did.
No, I never did.
Right there. So we've got a bit of a smile. And actually, it is a little bit inappropriate. I would say that's my own personal opinion, considering the fact that his wife died overboard.
You wouldn't cooperate with the...
Well, I had already had cooperated with him.
Okay, so he's got open body language. His hands were open there. And he's making good eye contact.
You know.
Yeah, you wrote it in your book.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything left to say.
Okay, so he's fumbling over his words. And when I do hear a fumbling over the words, which I do, yeah, you're sort of ebbing into, why are you fumbling over your words? Why can't you make this story straight? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Let's go back a bit.
There wasn't anything left to say, Larry. You know, when that accident happened.
Interesting. So he said, when that accident happened, that he's distancing himself from the accident. When the accident happened, you were actually closer to the accident, and he was very close to the accident. He was the last one seen with her, had a massive fight, and she ended up drowning. So he is distancing himself with this case.
Larry, you know, when that accident happened.
Hard swallow. So he's gearing up for what he's going to say next, and he's thinking. When you were sort of looking below here, you are remembering something physical that you actually did. And when we're up here, we are remembering something that's more visual. This is what we did, and this is more visual. It's in your imagination as well. And it's on both sides. People say that it's on one side or the other, but it depends on the person.
There were so many people on top of that.
There were so many people on top of that. It's just an interesting phrase of words. People on top of that. Or could it be people on top of her? Of course, I could be jumping to conclusions.
You know, at the time, you can't believe it, you know.
You can't believe it, you know. You can't believe it. You cannot believe it. Again, that's another phrase that is interesting. I mean, so when I hear these sorts of phrases, I want to dig deeper.
But when that all came up again, it was so...
That micro expression is not sure and a little bit of regret.
Were you shocked that the captain said that?
Now, the captain came out and basically sort of dobbed him in and said, well, I heard screaming or something like that, and Natalie had gone. And Robert didn't want to search for Natalie that night and said, no, forget it, or might look for the next day, which is bizarre.
Well,
Again, he's not sure and he's fumbling over his words again. He's not getting it out. Not sure. He's pulling his jaw down. He's pulling it down, not sure.
it was rather transparent, you know.
Again, a weird saying here, transparent.
It was rather transparent. I hadn't seen him for a long time.
So what do you mean by it was transparent? He was transparent, or it's transparent that he's lying? He's not qualifying himself enough here.
And, you know, he wasn't.
Right there, a little bit of a smile there and a little bit, I'm not sure if that's superiority at the moment or it could be contempt.
The captain of the boat, you know.
Okay, so we're saying he wasn't the captain, which is interesting. And a little bit of fear coming up into his forehead here.
That was the bleakest period of the life, right?
Yes.
That had to be.
Absolutely.
How did you overcome it?
Again, we had absolutely a little bit of fear. We had contempt coming in here as well. Deep breath, getting ready.
Well, I don't think you ever overcome it. And why should you?
Okay, again, I'm having issues with the way that he's putting this. Why is he smiling when he's talking about his dead wife? How she drowned. This is sort of like an inappropriate smile. And it's sort of in either contempt or superiority here.
Why should you?
Yeah.
Why should you?
It happened.
You know? But I had a great deal of support and help.
So he didn't have support because he had a shaking of the head. He felt that. But he also may have had a great deal of support from his family.
I had my three daughters who were right by my side. And later on, I was so fortunate.
So fortunate, a little bit of fear coming in.
So fortunate because Jill St. John.
The best.
Okay, maybe it's not fair. I mean, he's an older man now, so he could be just raising his eyebrows to explain something.
Came into my life. Yeah, I know you love her.
I love her.
She came into my life and...
Again, not sure coming in.
She had her hand under my arm, you know.
So he's not sure. She had her hand under my arm, so she's supporting him.
And through a lot of help from a lot of friends and a lot of people.
Good. Again, you've got not sure and a little bit of regret there. All right, guys, a very short video, but even in this little small clip, I have my questions and I have my doubt, or I just would like to dig deeper. If I was an investigator, I would dig deeper. It's just interesting that he hasn't been held up on charges. He's been investigated, but nothing's happened. Maybe he's been protected, or maybe he's just completely innocent and there's nothing to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is The Dialogue.